All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. But now let's get right in today's update about Pepe itself. You guys are looking at the charts right now. You guys are seeing so much bloodbath across the board. What exactly is happening? Nothing is happening. We are seeing BTC seeing, the expected pullback. And, let's face it. As I've discussed in literally our yesterday's update, nothing goes up straight forever. There is going to come a time where we do see consolidation, where we do see a little bit of a pullback, because that is how, this market moves. Especially if you're an OG, you understand this. And this is why it's so important to lock in profits, and I cannot stress this enough. But the reason as to why we're seeing quite a bit of red, day across the board is due to Bitcoin seeing, red day, obviously, seeing a little bit of a pullback almost at its all-time high. It never honestly reached its all-time high, but was very close to the resistance. But I think this is where we did see that pullback and a bunch of profit taking occurring, and obviously that has caused this market to see a little bit of a pullback. But again, even though we're seeing quite a bit of red across the board on the daily time frame, we'll look at it on the weekly time frame. Still, things look absolutely amazing, and of course on the monthly time frame, everything seems to be absolutely looking insane. So now let's take a step further, talk about what's happening with Pepe, and of course what we could be expecting as we go further into this upcoming weekend ahead of us, as well as this month. So if you're looking at the price of Pepe right now, currently sitting at 5944, still about 5 zeros in front of the price, down about 20% over the past 24 hours in USD. Bitcoin and Ethereum comparative, looking at its market cap, it's at $2.4 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume currently sitting at 3.4 billion. As far as its overall rank goes, it's still above the top 50, so that's great to see. Obviously, it has gone down a little bit in terms of rankings. Some of the altcoins did hold better, in this move down against Pepe. But let's face it, Pepe has performed better than some of these altcoins that have claimed above it right now. So, that's not something to worry about too much. But let's take a step further and see what exactly we could be expecting, as we go further into the month of March. But before I get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So literally over the last 1 hour, to be exact, last 1 hour, we saw the Bitcoin dominance shooting up to 54.75%. If you watch my update on Solana, we did not see Bitcoin dominance sitting at this point, but we're seeing Bitcoin dominance increasing, at a big margin. The reason as to why this is the case is because we did see Bitcoin see a significant pullback, and this is going to impact everything. I hope you guys realize this, and I hope you guys understand why we take a look at Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis. It's the king of the market. Everything is correlated to the price of Bitcoin, and you need to make it a habit to analyze the price of Bitcoin. You don't just want to blindly take a look at a chart of an altcoin and just base it off of that. You always want to realize what Bitcoin is doing and the importance of that. Of course, at this point, we all know what Bitcoin has done in the month of March, and literally the last 4 days we saw Bitcoin absolutely exploding towards all-time highs. And let's face it, no one believed, or no one could have imagined, including myself. I did know that Bitcoin had the capability of getting back into the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level, but let's face it, no one saw Bitcoin pushing up towards almost all-time highs in this month. No one did. What Bitcoin has done is caught everyone off guard, and during these times when there's so much excitement, as I've said to you guys in my previous updates, people tend to forget that it's time to get a little bit fearful and start locking in these profits, because if you don't, eventually the market will correct, and we did see that happening. You could pretty much see this for yourself. BTC almost got towards all-time highs, but you could pretty much say double top. We did almost touch all-time highs, but we have seen a significant retracement since then. So let's zoom in a little bit and see what exactly happened. So you look at this, guys, we're seeing a massive pullback for BTC. So we saw Bitcoin go up to $69,000. We saw Bitcoin fall down about 14%. That's a significant drop. But with that being said, with that being said, what you want to realize is that since, February 26th, which was just literally last week, we saw Bitcoin go up 34.6%. After a 34.6%, having a 14% pullback is very much needed. And of course, massive amounts of manipulation can occur in the futures platforms. Obviously, they are trying to shake out the weak hands, and you don't want to be the weak hands when it comes to this point, and obviously stay away from completely leverage trading. I'm totally against it, as you guys know. No matter who tells you how good leverage trading is, this and that, just stay away from leverage trading, because the amount of people that are getting wiped out recently is just insane, and it's actually heartbreaking. But what can you do? But you're looking at BTC pushed down to $59,288, but we got picked up really fast. We did see the price of Bitcoin bouncing back up to 62,000 really fast, so the recovery seems to be quite fast, and that is obviously not a surprise as well. Reason being, the demand is still there. This right here is caused by massive liquidations. I'm very certain about that. But this will happen. This usually happens after moves like this. So obviously now us understanding where we are and what has caused this kind of explains why we're seeing so much red across the day for everything right now. Not just Pepe, not just Bonk, not just VeChain, not just Dogecoin. Everything is down right now. But what's going to be really important for Bitcoin is to actually close its daily candle at 62,000. If it's able to do that, that's great. If the price of Bitcoin is able to go below 59,000 support, $60,000 support line, and it's not able to close its daily candle above this range, then I think we could even see more downside for BTC in the upcoming days ahead of us. But what's it looking like for Pepe? Believe it or not, guys, Pepe is holding really strong, considering what we have seen with Bitcoin. And now if I want to really bring this into perspective, so of course we hit an all-time high yesterday at 86.76. As I've discussed to you guys in my update yesterday, Pepe got to a point or above the 3.5 billion units trading next to some of the big boys in terms of massive projects, and I was getting an indication that we might be running out of steam, because like I said earlier, nothing goes up straight forever. But now that we're seeing this pullback, this is a good sign. So even if this pullback is here, you don't want to get too spooked out. If I'm gonna bring out the measuring tool for you guys, we have seen Pepe drop 40% literally over the past few hours from its all-time high. But with that being said, you would really want to look at how much Pepe went up literally since the last week, about 632%. So after a 632% pullback, a 40% retracement, I'm sorry, not a pullback. See, I can't speak right now. After a 600% pump, seeing a 40% pullback is, dream pullback in my opinion. But now that we're seeing a little bit of a consolidation is lovely to see. We obviously have some support built up around here. I'm not surprised that we're bouncing back and forth around here, but if this is not able to hold, if this support is not able to hold, the next major support in my opinion for Pepe would be at that 44.74, and that is still a sharp decline for the price, another 23%. So if Bitcoin is not able to hold above this key support line and were to go lower, we could see Pepe retesting that support line. And it's really important. Now hear me out, guys. It's really important for Pepe to find a ground where it's going to start consolidating. Reason as to why I'm saying this is because, after pumps like this, especially when it's hitting all-time highs after all-time highs, there's no support, there's no resistances. It doesn't really have a chance to build support or resistance. So, when the prices were to cool off, things can go down even faster, if there is not a significant support line. So what you want to be seeing as a Pepe holder, what Pepe do is, start creating some sideways momentum at a certain price level, so, that strengthen its support. But so far, so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Obviously, we did see a bounce back since the wick all the way down to the 50.73. If somehow you had some buy orders placed in around that range, or somehow you got in at that point, you are up instantly about 14.7%. But what you want to be taking a look at right now is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is able to close its daily candle above 62,000 or even 63K before we end the day, I think that is going to look great, and we could potentially start retesting our highs once again. And this momentum could carry on. And this was just a massive shakeout, but you don't want to be getting shaken out. As long as you have done your due diligence, as long as you have done your due diligence research and invested where you can afford to lose, then patience is your number one key to follow. That will help you. Obviously, the bull market is still long ways to go. During that time in between, we might see a lot of shakiness. That is part of the market. Obviously, if you're an OG, you understand that. But if you're a newcomer, this might be a really scary time, but you really want to understand how the market really works. So what you want to be taking a look at is Bitcoin today. Bitcoin is all your eyes should be on, and hoping, fingers crossed, that BTC is able to close above 62.5 or 63K or even above that. That would be lovely to see. But let me know down below what you guys think, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Been Crypto ZX, and peace out.